Welcome to Puerto Calero's Marina on Christmas Eve. Such a beautiful place down here. Some really cracking boats.
Well, hubba bubba, look at that one.
Oh. Some of them just are spectacular.
Wow.
Silica in Gibraltar.
I dare say if you want to go out, do some fishing at the sea, you can hire a boat or get a space, do some fishing at sea or sea fishing, don't know what it's called. And equally, I don't know if you can see all those wee minnows down there. So Puerto Calero, folks, this is an absolutely stunning little marina. Over there is the high peak to the left, although it doesn't look high because it's set in the distance, is Hasha Grande. If you ever come to Lanzarote and you've got access to a car or even a bus, because you can get a bus I reckon from Puerto del Carmen along to here, it's well worth it. It's stunning. And then you've got like a seafront number of restaurants and bars, and you can just soak up the sun. There's gorgeous Karen coming down again. And just have a few drinks and watch the world go by. So there you go, folks, there's the water bus that takes you from Puerto del Carmen to Puerto Calero. So you can jump on that and come along here and get a lift back. And check this out too, you can go on a submarine safari if you fancy it at Puerto Calero. What time do you think it is? Can't you get the time? It's 10 to 2. And just look how busy and bustly and
Some of the restaurants are. It's actually quite nice to see, to be fair.
so we just passed a Indian, there's a steakhouse.
And more boats in the harbour.
More boats than fish in the sea. Puerto Calero.
Do you know, we were here one year and this was just like an empty building, shoppy thing. And I just thought, oh, I could do something. I don't know what I would have done, but I just thought it would have been ideal to do something with it.
For a wee business?
Yeah, because it's like right on the front. Just perfect. It's an Alvira thing just now, very popular over here in Lanzarote. But I don't know what I would have done with it, but it just looks nice. Nice setup.
So there's more restaurants, more shops, more bars.
I think there's actually been a market down here today. If you just turn round there, James, you can see there's a chap putting away. And I think we were down here once, were we not, when there was a market on?
Yeah. So I showed you a sign about submarine safaris. There's the shop for the submarine safaris if you fancy that. You can book a ticket and whatnot. There's a little sort of supermarket there that you can pick up bag of crisps, bottles of water. So remember coming here, oh look at them, just look at, I was going to say this bridge here is where all the fish tend to hang out. Just look at them. Hopefully you can see that, guys.
So let's see what happens now. Let's see the fishy comes alive. Just need to break it up into little bits. And let's bring it a bit out. Wow, look at that. I think it's better if we do it in tinier bits, I think. Okay. There we go. Some well-fed fishes.
Shall we take a wee walk along here, wifey?
Yeah. They're a bit like me, they come alive when they see food.
Right, Karen, tell us all about what happened last night.
Well, last night we had a spectacular meal at a place called La Cabana. We have been a couple of times before, and we took the wee car down. The wee Berry got us down there, and we had a beautiful meal. Our starters were salmon and what was it you had, James? I can't remember.
Foie gras.
Which was really nice. It was like a liver patty. Then I had the fillet. And James had lamb, which was really nice, very well presented. We shared an eating mess, had a nice bottle of wine, and we got a taxi back home. And this morning we ran down to pick up our little Berry, and it was actually quite nice because it was only 2.5 kilometres, but it was all downhill, so it was fantastic. So it was a really brilliant night. Did you enjoy it, James?
Had a great night. So if you do come to this part of Lanzarote in Tias or the Matcher area and you fancy a nice meal, check out La Cabana. Absolutely, they're English speaking, they'll look after you, they take care of you, they're family run restaurant and it's fantastic. So check it out when you, if you visit this part of the world.
We've actually got, well, we're hoping to get down there in Hogmanay. They're fully booked, but we're at the top of the list, so hopefully we might be able to get in there. If not, we're going to try and get in another ones before we get home because it is money well spent. Food's just amazing.
You're looking at Karen?
There's some really quite quirky little things, but the only problem is getting them back home.
You can shop till you drop along here, although it doesn't look like there's many shops open, so but let's check it out. The last couple of times you were here, a couple of years ago, and obviously before COVID, this place was bustling.
With all your designer gear.
Yep. So North Sales is closed by the looks of it. There you go, there's a wee shop that's open. The Thin Line Kids. Crikey, Karen, that's closed too.
Wow. Just shows you what happens.
Yeah, so there you go, COVID's hit here too with the shops and shop fronts. There we go. These wee shoppies are open. The Thin Line. There's a boutique.
such a shame because it's such a lovely place.
And here you come to more shops. Some nice wall art.
It's such a pity that the camera doesn't pick up the smells that's coming through from these restaurants because it's absolutely amazing.
That is actually. We've just had lunch up at the studio apartment that we've got. Any trip hazard back there? Well, it looks like there's more of these shops that are shut from the last time we were here, Carney.
Oh, definitely. These whole shops were bustling, and as James says, all these people, you could hardly move along here.
Yeah.
So what's the plan now, Karen? What are we up to? What are we doing?
Well, we're just going to go up and feed more fishes. James would like to do some drone work, so he's going to put it up, I think, from the car park and just try and see what he can get. And then I think we're going to head home for coffee and cake. We got really nice cakes this morning when we were doing our messages. Nice pastries. So a wee coffee and cake. I think I'll just go down a treat.
So there you go, there's a submarine tour. That's what it looks like, the boat.
Funny how it started, all the little ones came about, and now it's all the bigger ones have come.
Don't know if you can see it, but there's a cracking redfish down there. Big fish. So there you go, come down to Puerto Calero and feed the fish, but you need to remember and bring some bread, or you can go into the supermarket and get some bread. But there's stunning little fishes down here, lots of different colours. There's one down there that's red and yellow and blue. What they're called, their names, I've got no idea, but it's quite cathartic is the word, cathartic. We've came from the car park, the car's still down there obviously. But we've walked up these metal stairs and we're going to go for a little walk just along here and see where this takes us. Where's it going to take us, Karen?
This bag kit?
There's a bin.
Oh yeah. Well, we do know where it eventually takes us because we did this last year. This is such a nice walk, walking along by the...
Does this go all the way to Playa Quemada?
Yes.
Ah, yes.
Right along by the
coastline, the waterfront.
The coastline, yes.
So
And it's stunning.
the last time we were here, one of the last times we were here, did we park the car here and walk all the way along there to Playa Quemada, had some lunch,
Yep,
and walked back?
we did. And it was really nice. I think it was actually our last night, I want to say, because when we were coming back, it was starting to get a bit dark.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was lovely. But it's just stunning.
So there you go, again, I keep saying this, if you're willing to put in a little bit of effort, park the car here at Puerto Calero, walk along the beachfront to Playa Quemada, get my Portos and Playas mixed up, have some lunch and walk back.
Remember, you tried that, James, in the body holiday.
The jet skiing.
Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Is it jet skiing? Anyway, I face planted a few times.
Yeah. And I suppose you were a bit more successful than me with my paddle board.
Aye.
Couldn't get back.
Right, so this is a wee walk for us, 20-minute walk, just down to Puerto Calero. Absolutely stunning little port. Lots of nice ships to look at, yachts, seacraft, whatever they're called.
Must be about 5 kilometres, all downhill from our little apartments. So James had suggested maybe one night we're going to go back and just do TripAdvisor, just see if there's any really good recommendations for a restaurant. And maybe one night we'll come down here and have something to eat and get a taxi home, and next morning our exercise could be running down to pick it up.
Yep, that's a good shout. Anyway, if you've got a car and you come to Lanzarote, come and check out Puerto Calero. It's a beautiful place to come, grab some food, drinks, see all the sort of boats that are in the harbour, go on the yellow submarine boat trips, and I dare say they do these sort of catamaran tours, sunset tours, which you see just now. And go for a walk along, if you want, all the way along the coastline to Playa Quemada, have some lunch there, and come all the way back, pick up the car. Job's a good one. So I quite like the way we're signing this off, because I've said hasta luego for a long time, but the other day Karen jumped in and said
Over and out.
and it's tickled my fancy. Anyway, okay, so this is us signing out of Puerto Calero, so it's hasta luego for me.
And over and out for me.